What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. In this video, we're going to talk about the AMC APE shares, okay, and how it is a win-win situation for retail no matter what happens, okay. When I woke up this afternoon, I looked at the charts, I seen the prices of the stocks, and I seen Hycroft had fell to 50 cents, and I'm like, oh my God, that means I can get two for $1 to talk about that. I know why it fell. Relax. Be watching for the Hycroft update. But for now, let's talk about APE, people. Because I know there's always been a big confusion in the community concerning APE. And some YouTubers put out videos saying, I'm selling all my APE tomorrow. Alright. Other YouTubers saying, I'm selling all my AMC and I'm getting APE. I'm selling all my APE and getting AMC. That's all confusion, people. The only couple things you need to know about this APE share, and it has nothing to do with the price, okay? You have to stop to think. Ask yourself, and I'm going to give you a second, what was the purpose of APE created for? In the mind of Adam Aaron. Not in your mind, not in my mind. Why did Adam Aaron create the APE? Well, over here on AMC's website, we see the press release where APE come out, and Adam Aaron specifically tells us what the purpose of APE was. Okay, scroll on down. Aaron emphasized the dividend of AMC preferred equity unit exclusively to our shareholders, and our opinion is perhaps the single biggest action we will take in all of 2022 to fundamentally strengthen AMC for the long term. This new AMC preferred equity gives AMC a currency that can be used in the future to strengthen our balance sheets, including by paying down debt or raising fresh equity. Okay? You say, we know this already. Well, let's look at this one more time. In this new AMC preferred equity gives AMC what, people? A currency. Okay, so the purpose of the APE shares was to create a currency for AMC. Okay, now write that down. That's going to come back in very soon. But that's the purpose. It was to create a currency for. You're going to catch on. Going to the next point. There's only two things that can happen with APE shares. Two, they either convert back into AMC. We will have a shareholder meeting at AMC. It will be determined whether we want to take the APE shares and have them converted back into AMC shares and dilute that float through APE being admitted into it. That's one way. The second thing that can happen with APE is that the shareholders meet, they vote no, and APE is laying out here in limbo. And it lays out here in limbo until the shareholders decide they want to put it back into AMC. That's only two things that matter, people. Will they convert it back into AMC or will they not? The price is not a factor here. You're focused on the price because that's part of your portfolio and you're looking at this as sort of like you've been fucked over, but you haven't, because this is a win-win situation for us, okay? How's it a win-win situation? Very simple. You have to understand what the purpose is, then you have to understand what your choices are. If we do not convert AMC back into APE, then they will be left out there in limbo. And who will be holding that bag is the question. Or we do convert it back into AMC, and the squeeze would happen, because if it does, when you try to fit what will amount to be about 1 billion shares of APE back into AMC, you got 50 billion APE hanging out there. And people are going to want to know why they're not getting the benefit of being included back in the AMC Because all the registered shares of AMC's already been accounted for. Now, the question is this going to be a possible mechanism for the squeeze? Well, and how can I have so much encouragement in it? Well, very simple. I know you're watching your other favorite YouTubers. They're all telling you about the latest news, and the latest news is that the SEC has got something going on where they're rounding up all the shares so they know where they all at. And if a person owns the shares and they loan the shares out for any reason, then they're going to lose the voting rights of that share. That's the big push right now in the SEC, right? I mean, your favorite YouTubers are talking about it. It's a big part of this, though, people. Why all of a sudden does the SEC want to know where the shares are, where they're loaned out to, and who gets the proper voting rights? Because coming up soon, there may be a vote of the shareholders to convert APE back into AMC, and they've already set the fucking groundwork that you're not going to fuck over this. There will be no election interference over here in AMC when the time comes. Why? Because Gary Gensler's already putting it in place to where if you're loaning shares out, you don't get the fucking voting right. So, win. The second way, the other way is a win, is I told y'all in Back to the Basics. We had to go back to the basics and look at what you understand about this play, all right, and what you've learned throughout the course of the year and a half, 2 years, however long you've been here. But I shared with y'all that if APE goes to zero, it doesn't matter. Why? Because I'm not left holding the bag. I can jump out at any time. I can say, fuck it, pull the parachute cord and go. But you know who don't have that ability? Them. Because if you remember in Back to the Basics, I showed y'all how it works, that there's a clearinghouse, and the clearinghouse are the ones that actually own the shares. And that when I buy into a share, they just put me in their ledger, and the ledger shows that I now own 1,000 shares of APE. But if you want to argue with them, who owns the shares? I want certificate numbers. And I say, we own the shares. We're just holding them for you. Remember the arguments? Well, in this particular case, it backfires on them. Bitch, you own them shares. I don't own them shares. We, retail, can pull out this motherfucker at any time and go. And who's left holding the bag? And when I say bag, people, I mean a big bag. And you know what? Motherfuckers gonna argue with me in the comments about ain't nobody selling. No, listen, quit projecting your mind frame to other people. Because other people are selling. That's why this chart looks like it does. With the FTDs. That on the first day that it came out, it was 47 million or 43 million FTDs. And then it was 38 million. And then it was 24 million. And then it was, how is these candles dropping, people? What causes these FTD candles to fall? They're out there buying shares. Okay? So now who owns the shares? They do. Why? Because they've had to buy this shit. And when there was a big push to sell your APE and they was having to gobble it up and get them over there to the overseas brokers and all the other fuckery that was going on, they bought them fucking shares. They're on the hook for them. And if this bitch goes to zero, if it looks like a SHIB price at 0.00051, they going to be the ones holding the bag, not us. You say, well, I lost 40% of my portfolio. Be cool. Be cool. If you can at least sit back and look at this and see all the mechanisms that are going on, and you can realize that there is possibly a play in action, that it's not a coincidence that we do a preferred equity share unit. It can be converted back over here with a shareholder count. The SEC's pushing right now that everybody freeze. We want to know where the shares are for when a share count comes up, or if share vote comes up, we'll know who's supposed to be voting stopping election interference when it comes time for AMC. Win-win. So it seems to me that the play here is going to be the conversion of APE back into AMC and SEC and everybody else. See, and they're like, oh, you just can't, you think everything's AMC. This has been an investigation going on. This has been in the works. This is a step-by-step process, and they're fixing to beat that ass for fucking up this stock market. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Love y'all. Be blessed. It doesn't matter what happens with APE. They're holding the bag. See you in the next video.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back.